Morning, all. It's me again. Excuse the terrible looking excuse for a beard um, and the pajamas. But yeah, out of hospital and surgery complete. I'm now back at home. It's the 30th of November. And my surgery was a week ago today. Um, so yeah, obviously a lot's happened since then. Um, Went to the BRI on the Tuesday with Glenn, my partner. Um, Went through everything with the anaesthetist and surgical team. Got dressed into some fancy stockings and a gown, and it was pretty much straight into surgery, which worried me a little bit because I thought I'd had time to prepare myself, and I know I've had time because I knew the surgery was coming, but it was straight onto a bed and getting knocked out for the surgery. So yeah, very scary. I didn't really have that much privacy to say goodbye to Glenn properly, which I would have hoped because it could have been the last time. So yeah. So anyway, the surgery was complicated. I'm told. I was in there for 9 hours. They couldn't do keyhole initially, so they had to open me up. So I've got some fancy scars at the moment. And apparently I had to have a blood transfusion, and it was touch and go on the table. But anyway, they managed to cut away the tumour and the gallbladder and leave me with my spleen, which I was delighted with, because obviously without the spleen I would have been susceptible to a range of infections and really need it for being in the reserves. So I believe. Anyway, so came out of surgery. Not that I remember any of this. I mean, this is what I've been told, obviously by Glenn, who was called by the hospital and was regularly keeping check on me, and what I've been told by the surgeons and the medical staff. Yeah, I was sent to recovery, and as soon as I started breathing for myself, sent to the intensive care unit. I do have a picture of myself in intensive care, but I don't remember taking it, and I don't remember being in intensive care. I do remember going on to the ward where I was discharged from, but nothing before that really. So went onto the ward. Absolute agony, I must say. Never felt pain like it. My insides don't know what's happened to them. Couldn't go to the toilet for almost a week as well. So that was all building up, and I had a really bad night where I was in agony, throwing up black and green bile. So yeah, that was all down to not being able to go to the toilet. I mean, the hospitals, I must say, they were brilliant. All the nurses, the doctors, the surgeons, everybody were fantastic, and it's a brilliant little hospital. I say little, it's huge. I was on the 8th floor. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But during my stay, I've developed a chest infection, thrush in the mouth, which has made everything taste and smell horrid. So I haven't really eaten much while I was in hospital or since I've come out. But you take those chances, and I'd rather have thrush and a chest infection than having having cancer on my pancreas. So doctors and surgeons, I was doing well. They told me I was doing well. The physio said I was doing well, going for walks. Tires me out, I must say, just going a little distance. And I'm used to be going to the gym, but I'm struggling just to walk a short distance. But I'm doing it. Breathing exercises, getting my muscles back, and yeah, it's a hard, long journey, I suppose. But there's a lot out there that have gone through it. I'm just one person, so just getting back onto the road of recovery, really. Eating very little, but trying my best. Trying to get rid of this thrush, and that will help no end in tasting food, I'm sure. Taking my antibiotics. I mean, I've got a lot of drugs. I've got to inject myself. I've got to take antibiotics, Creon when I eat, paracetamol, Oromor for the pain. I've stopped taking tramadol because of the side effects. I was having hallucinations and really, really bad nightmares in hospital. Not that I was sleeping much in hospital. Obviously on a ward it's quite, it's quite noisy because obviously there's other patients. And I just wasn't sleeping. And since I've come home, despite me sleeping on the sofa, because it's a lot comfier for me, I'm sleeping so much better. And I think with them sending me home when they did, I think that's going to speed up my recovery process. I wouldn't be feeling this good still lying in a hospital bed or sitting in a hospital chair, bored out of my skull. I'm recovering much better here, being with Glenn, and they discharged me a lot sooner than I thought I'd be discharged, which is good, because I was expecting to be in there for a few weeks, and it was less than a week. It was brilliant, but they were happy with my progress, and I think they could tell that I really wanted to go home. But it's odd. I'm used to getting out there, doing work, driving up and down the country to branches, to RAF stations, like I say, going to the gym, not really resting that much, certainly not sitting watching TV all day. And I'm bored out of my skull, I really am. But I don't want to push myself that I'm going to be ill again. I've just got to take the advice as it comes and just get well. I feel well, but I'm not well. I just need to take it easy a little bit and let other people do stuff for me. Bending over, can't do it. Lifting things, can't do it. Moving a chair, can't do it. It's crazy. But I suppose that's what happens when you go into surgery. So anyway, on the bright side, I'm back at home. Surgery's complete. Had a lot of lovely cards, messages, emails. It's been lovely. Had some really, really good advice from some friends that have gone through similar things. Everybody's just been absolutely fantastic. And especially Glenn. I mean, geez, it can't be easy for him. And it's just, I'm glad I'm going through this with somebody than going through it on my own. If it wasn't for Glenn, I wouldn't have gone to the doctor in the first place to get the symptoms checked out. So I suppose everything happens for a reason, and pretty much saved my life, really. We move on. Started putting the Christmas tree up yesterday. We had to stop slightly, just because I was getting tired. It was getting late, and we'll finish putting it up today, which will be good. Sadly, I won't be able to attend my carol concert on the 19th, which is a shame because it's my last one back in Retford. So I'm going to write a short speech, and my friend Alan Chambers is going to read it out for me, which is brilliant. And yeah, such a shame I won't be there. It just grows year on year and just gets better and better. But now it's time for the churches to take it over fully, and my health being as it is, I'm not going to risk driving the 4-hour trip to attend, unfortunately. The journey home from the hospital was bad enough, just because of where the seatbelt positions over the wounds. It's not comfy. I had to cushion it out with a coat. So yeah, I know I've gone on a little bit, but it's been a long week. Still a long way to go, and yeah, we'll see what the next week holds. Hopefully the scars start to heal a bit more, start to eat a bit more. That'd be lovely, and generally start to feel a little bit better, a bit more myself. Have a shave. Really need a shave, but I just can't. I can't seem to, build myself up to do it. Bending down to get the razor. I'm sure Glenn would do it for me, but I'd like to do things myself, especially when it comes to personal hygiene. Showering's bad enough, to be fair. I'm having to do it in a bath with a hand shower, and yeah, we'll get there. There's people in worse positions than I'm in. I need to stop moaning a little bit. So yeah, that's all I can really say on that. Surgery's done, recovery's begun, and looking forward to a relaxing Christmas. Not looking forward to not working though, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm glad to have given you this update, and I'll update you again in a week or so, I think, unless something else happens in between. Thank you. Take care.